This is the plaintiff, Casey Appel. She says she was walking her puppy when the defendant's menacing dog came running over. She picked up the puppy to protect her. The defendant's dog jumped on her and then bit her in the shoulder. Her clothes were bloodied. Her puppy peed on her out of fear, and she's owed $1,800. And that's just what she's suing for. This is the defendant, Chris Dorio. He says he doesn't understand why the plaintiff didn't just yell no or get down to his dog. Besides, there was no blood on her clothes. She never mentioned she was bitten at the time of the incident, and he thinks this whole thing is a setup. He's accused of having a dangerous dog. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,800 for quarantine costs, stress, and aggravation.
Casey Appel? Yes. You are suing Chris Dorio for $1,800 in medical bills, lost wages, and pain and suffering as a result of a dog bite.
Correct.
That happened by his dog to you.
Correct.
That got loose. All right, tell me how this happened.
I was walking my dog in my neighborhood.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a half Labrador, half Chihuahua. He's a very small puppy. I was walking him on a leash, and I saw this dog coming up towards me through a backyard, and I could tell he wasn't coming to be nice, so I picked up my puppy.
How big was your puppy? Show me with your hands.
My puppy is tiny.
Okay.
He was 5 months old then.
Okay.
So I picked him way up here to keep him safe. So his dog kept nipping at his tail, so my puppy was yelping. So I was trying to protect my puppy, and I was twisting and putting my foot up to try to guard myself and my puppy.
Were you screaming at all?
I was screaming, "Whose dog was this?" Because there were people outside in the house over on this side, and there were people over here, outside enjoying the day. And when I started screaming, "Whose dog is this?" because they saw me, so they all came running. And I don't know if he heard, me, because he lives right around the corner, I guess. And I don't know if he heard me, but he flew up the road, grabbed the dog, put it in the truck, and flew off. Didn't say a word.
Didn't say a word to you?
Ask if anybody was okay. Nothing.
Okay.
Not a word.
Was everyone okay?
No, I had
What
gotten
happened?
bitten.
You had gotten bitten by his dog?
The dog, because he was trying to get my puppy and I was protecting my puppy, he jumped up on my shoulder, bit my shoulder, ripped my shirt, and cut my arm. I have pictures of my arm.
May I please see the pictures?
And my puppy's in there too.
Okay. Okay, is this a close-up of your arm?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, that's a puncture wound.
Yes.
Is this your puppy?
That's my puppy.
Cute. What happened? Do you know or you don't know?
The dog got out my back deck. My nephew here and myself immediately
How'd the dog get out?
Out of the back deck. I have a gate, and it wasn't latched properly. We knew the dog immediately ran up the road. We, in turn, got in my vehicle and drove up to the stop sign.
You and your nephew?
Yep, with my nephew in the vehicle, drove up to retrieve the dog. I stopped at the stop sign. I looked to my right. I saw my dog. I saw her holding her dog up high. I saw her jumping up and down. I saw her twisting. And I just quickly drove up, got out. I went to retrieve my dog. At that time, somebody from the premises came out, wanted to be confrontational with me. My nephew notified me of somebody behind me running up to me. At that point, I said, I don't want any confrontation with anybody.
Why is everyone being nasty to you?
I don't know. Maybe it's my dog. It's a pit bull. Okay.
Was there a prior history of your dog getting out?
There has been prior history.
Okay, how many times has your dog gotten out?
Since I've been in Colchester, twice.
What does that mean? Since this neighborhood, is that what you mean?
In this neighborhood, twice.
How many times did it get out in the other neighborhood?
Once.
Okay. So go on.
At that point, I went back to the house, but in retrieving the dog...
But did you turn around and say to her, I guess because of the other confrontation, you didn't say to her, are you okay?
I looked at her. She had no ripped clothing. It did not look like anything got bit. The dog was jumping up. Her dog was up here in her arms going crazy, yipping around, biting, and all this barking. I just grabbed my dog, threw him in the back of the vehicle, and drove down the hill because I didn't want a confrontation with anybody.
Including the person who says your dog just bit her? I mean, and who the dog is...
She didn't tell me the dog. When I retrieved the dog, she
you
didn't
gave her
say
a lot of
anything to
time.
me.
Did you give her a lot of time to tell you?
I didn't see any bite. I didn't see anything.
How long did you stick around to look for a bite? You were worried that there was going to be pitchforks and an angry mob setting you on fire, so you run back into the truck and hightailed it right out of there. You didn't stop and say, "Are you okay?" Did he? No. Did you? I didn't see anything. No, of course you're not going to see if you don't look.
It didn't appear to be any kind of damages other than the dog being in an excited state. I put the dog in the vehicle. I didn't want to get confrontational with anybody, and I went back to my premises. If I had seen something that looked to me that there was torn clothes, I certainly would have put the dog in the vehicle and started to ask questions, because then I would have...
How about just asking a question?
Then I would
Maybe
have
you
felt
can't
liable.
see it, because I'm looking at it. Did you want to see the pictures of her arm? Because it's very clearly a puncture wound on her arm. So very clearly your medical assessment that nothing happened is completely bogus, because look at her arm. Hand those pictures over to him. So apparently you didn't do a very thorough examination before you left. How about this? How about this one? I am so sorry. Are you okay? After you stick the dog back in and you got the nephew inside the truck with the dog, maybe just walk him back out and taking it like a man. And so what if the neighbors are yelling at you? And what are they going to do? They're not going to shoot you. Nobody had a weapon. You know, turn around and say to her, I am so sorry. Maybe that's why the neighbors are mad at you.
Are pit bulls more aggressive than other dogs? What do you think?
Depends on how they're raised.
You really think so? Is it an inherent thing in pit bulls that they're just more dangerous? What do you think?
I think so.
That they're more dangerous?
They are more
They are just
dangerous.
more dangerous than... What do you think? You're the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
I think maybe for the most part, but there's always exceptions.
What I mean, like this dog.
Oh, definitely worse than him. He's a baby.
But I mean, is that the way you look at it? That you look at like little dogs, like hey, the dog's biting me. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, are these dogs just inherently more vicious?
I don't think so. I have a friend with 3 pit bulls, and they're all really lovely dogs.
Yeah, I keep hearing that. Going inside the courtroom.
Do you have any evidence of that? You're asking for $225 in medical bills, but the only medical bill I saw was $171.
Right, that's from my primary care. I haven't received one from the emergency walk-in yet.
Yeah, but how do you... Okay, so how do you get from 171 to 225?
Basically, I think the rate for an emergency walk-in is $55.
Okay, I deal in proof.
so-
I don't deal in think. Yeah. Okay. Why did you lose wages?
I had to leave work to go back to my primary care the following Tuesday to get a tetanus shot and get on antibiotics because the doctor told me 9 times out of 10 they'll get infected. A
Okay.
dog bite will get infected. So
Do you have any proof of lost wages?
I didn't bring anything with me now.
The scar.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see your arm, please. Yes, please. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
From there.
Okay. That spot there, right?
Yes, that's the puncture wound.
Okay. How long ago did this happen?
March 20th.
March 20th. Okay. Go ahead and go back. I think I'm reading from your answer. I think a much more likely story was that her dog may have nipped her shoulder. Why would
That's
you
correct.
think that?
Because she was holding her dog in her arms at this level, barking, growling, going crazy. So that's why I feel that in that excited state, her dog bit her shoulder, not my dog.
Where are you pulling that out of? Like, what, you know, I mean, you're just completely making it up. You didn't see her dog bite her.
My dog has never been vicious towards people. He's never bit anybody.
My puppy was on my right shoulder. It was my left shoulder that was bit. So there's no way. Plus, my puppy has tiny little teeth. And as you can see from the pictures, that's a bigger wound than puppy teeth. And then when he did show up, they did start yelling at him to get the damn dog out of there because it has killed a cat and a whole school bus full of elementary kids. Watched a woman beat the dog with a broom because it was killing her cat, apparently.
Did your dog kill a neighborhood cat?
Yes.
Okay, then I guess it's not a big mystery why it is that the neighborhood's not very happy with you. Do you still live there?
No.
You have a counterclaim against her for $1,800. What's that for?
Well, like I said prior, I feel it was her dog that did it because I witnessed the whole thing.
The only thing you saw was your dog nipping at her dog that she had up. What is it you witnessed that would cause you to conclude that it was her dog that bit her? You didn't stick around long enough because you didn't have any decency to look at her and say, are you okay? Those words couldn't even come out of your mouth. You decide she's okay when obviously you're wrong. You saw the pictures, right? I mean, no, she's not going to lose her arm. She's not hemorrhaging, but you can see that there are puncture wounds that your damn dog bit her. And so I'm trying to understand how it is that you have a counterclaim against her. $225 for the cost to pick up the dog from quarantine and $1,500 and change for the stress and aggravation associated with the family pet being quarantined for 14 days. Is that it, or is there something I'm missing?
There's nothing that you're missing.
The worst part about it isn't even that it happened. The worst part about it is your attitude when it happens. Really, seriously. I'm going to order you to pay her $171 for her medical bills and $1,000 in pain and suffering and or punitive damages.
All right, so let's see what the defendant has to say coming out here. Okay, step on in and tell me, you have the poker face going on here.
Right, right. Well, I witnessed what happened, and I don't feel my dog bit her shoulder. I feel it was her dog that nipped her own shoulder.
I know I heard you say that,
Right,
but
right.
Judge felt differently.
Absolutely. I agree with it, but with her decision. I don't like it, but I'll just...
I mean, what about the part about the way you behaved at the scene, the way you even behaved in the courtroom? It doesn't look like there's any remorse there. How are you? Sorry?
I'm sorry the situation took place. It was an accident. The dog got out, but I can't change anything.
That's not very personal. No. Okay, head right down this way. All right, come on in here and
Just follow Jimmy.
what's your feeling on the outcome of this case here?
I didn't want the dog quarantined to begin with. It's not the dog's fault. It's the owner's fault. So
When you see him standing there at the defendant's side and then you hear him out here in the hallway and you look at his face, what do you think?
no feeling whatsoever.
And what does that do?
He
What does
doesn't
that do
care.
for you?
It makes me mad. It makes me very mad because had he said he was, had he said anything about, are you okay? Is everything okay? He was too scared. So.
Okay, Harvey?
Two things. Scars are an element of pain and suffering damages, and also somebody should report this to animal control if this happens again. And that will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.